Hello, everybody. God bless you. How are you? This is Eric, aka Lionheart. I hope everybody is doing well today. And I made my challenge I made a challenge video to Breakfast Tacos and actually to many, many atheists. And I went to personally deliver it to Breakfast Tacos. I happened to see that he started a live stream, so I was like the first one there. And he had a little bit of a debate with me that he allowed to go live when I was there previously. When I had that debate, everybody was shut up. But then they proceeded to not have that debate. And actually, they told me that I didn't have a right to bring up my debate unless I could bring forth some sort of a theory that I could replace evolution with, which of course is not scientific method, nor is it proper debate etiquette. I wanted to debate evolution specifically. Make them take account of their actual beliefs. And atheists, evolutionists, are intimidated to do so because when it comes right down to it, they don't have any testable, credible evidence at all to lay on the table. And I proved that in debate. So when I saw him start up his live stream, I thought, well, what the heck? I can take this challenge to him personally. Just leave him the link. So when he started his live stream, I went there. I went backstage, and he kept me back there for, I don't know, an hour and a half. While he came up, he brought up somebody that just made an absolute joke of themselves. Poor fellow was schizophrenic or something. And they spent an entire hour and a half making fun of somebody with obvious issues. Rather than allowing me on there. It was shameless. Shameful. So, I kept telling him backstage that I knew he was too intimidated to let me on, and etc. And I kept putting my challenge there in the live chat until they finally, after about an hour and a half of making fun of this poor guy, they let me on. And they tried to avoid the debate. You'll see how in just a moment. I'm just going to play this and then make a little comment on it here and there. So without further ado, here we go. This is Breakfast Tacos and his crew. These people are shameful.
Eric in the back. Eric is wanting to debate, and he said in the back room, I just created an open challenge to Breakfast Tacos and every atheist here to moderate a debate since I can't find an honest debate here. In the following challenge, I even lay out my arguments ahead of the debate to give you time to prepare and prove me wrong. You'll find it here. My BT is none of you will accept this. Had to be a third-party channel with a moderator. None of you, please prove me wrong. I'll pass on clicking the YouTube video, but what I can do is I can pull you up on stage, and I can sit here and moderate and moderate fairly. And then we've got some crazy Streamlabs rules.
Now, let's take a moment just to look at their quote-unquote fair debate rules. Okay, now, what he's suggesting is that I come up there. They've got a super chat going on while they're doing all this. And they want me to face their any two or three of them there, which I would have happily done had there been a third-party moderator. But look at the rules here. Any super chat question to any debater, fast $5 removes. Now, listen. I would have been happy to field any question from anybody after the debate was done, from anybody in the audience. Absolutely, I would do that. But look at this. $5 super chat removes a debater. In other words, all any one of their audience would have had to do is give $5 and they would have removed me. But look at the next one. $2 mutes a debater for 2 minutes. Now, you know that's the one they would have had the most fun with all the way through any supposed debate. There would have been no debate, guys. This certainly is not fair moderation, no matter how you look at it. Also, taking special requests. You can control the flow of the conversation in really annoying ways. This was his idea of fair moderation. No, this was a clown show, a make fun of the Christians show. Only a fool would have accepted that. But let's, I'll let it go on. Carry on from here.
To control the debate. So you might be forced to answer questions from the audience. Eric, if I pull you up, though, and somebody pays $2 for a question or mutes you, you're waiting out that 2-minute mute, or you're waiting out that, or you're responding to their question, because I'm not taking that nonsense if you don't respond to them, right?
I would have happily responded to anybody, but that's not the way this would have gone.
But I think that's a fair way to handle that, and that could definitely be fun.
They will prove that this was not going to be moderated fairly in just a moment. Watch this, guys.
How do you know atheism isn't a delusion caused by attending a university? Atheism has been around since before universities made by Jim Bob. So what's going on, Eric?
Welcome. There are
it's good to see you, man.
Universities that are not atheists.
Hello.
Howdy, Eric.
How are you?
Good.
Oh, and one last thing. I need all of your help. So if you hit that like button, I think it pushes it out to more people. So if everybody in here is enjoying this, please make sure to slam that like button, because it helps so much. You are all amazing. I'll moderate this fairly. What's up?
I will press the like button simply because you brought me up. But I'm going to be honest with you. The last time I was here, I set forth some arguments that absolutely quieted everybody. And what I was met with was, I can't produce those arguments unless I come up with an alternative theory to evolution. And that's not scientific method at all. So, forgive me if I don't really trust your moderation. No offense.
Well, that's cool enough that I wasn't here, so you're going to make your arguments, or are you going to be relying on what you've said already?
I engaged with you. Okay, so I engaged with you directly, and you refused to provide what I requested to engage. I wanted you to meet your burden of proof for the claims that you're making.
Well,
some of these other people here may not care and may be interested in debating your nonsense. So if they want to debate your nonsense, I don't care who the hell wins. I'm happy to keep a calm, casual conversation between the 2 or 3 of you, whoever wants to engage in whatever discussion you're wanting to have here.
That's the problem. I made no claim. I simply pointed out that nobody has any testable evidence to back their claims of, for instance, every fossil is transitional. I understand that
we still have no proof to your God. So
I understand. If I could finish my point, please, before I'm overtalked on this.
Well, you're clearly not making any points.
Well, allow me then. For instance, we look at a fossil, we eyeball it, and we declare that it has similarities with
we don't eyeball
Archaeopteryx, has similarities with a theropod dinosaur, and with a modern bird. And then we just place it on a chart and declare it true.
Yeah,
without a falsification process.
We have a falsification
there is a falsification process.
Well, you see, a falsification process has to be stringent testing that has the capability of proving your claim false.
We're not proving anything in science.
Okay?
Yeah, you can't prove anything in science. Proof only exists in mathematics.
Well, you can prove a claim false. Okay? You can
show that it has errors and is false. It's not a true proof.
At the very best, it needs modification.
Right, so and that's the entire scientific process. That's what science is. Science is the best understanding of what we have.
Your moderator is allowing me to be overtalked already, but I can't even present why I want this on a third channel. An impartial third channel. So you see, the problem with your claim is you eyeball these skeletons. You note the similarities.
We don't
You develop your you're over talking me again.
Yeah, because we don't.
You develop your hypothesis.
Just so you know, Eric, by me moderating right now, I'm actually saying that the viewers are moderating. So if they're not, see, because this is how they're. So listen. This is you read the chat.
Allow me to be overtalked, and
Eric,
I'm not even going to be able to make my first
Streamlab thing on the screen right now. This is how we're moderating your conversation.
If you can't meet me on a third-party impartial place, it's just because you're cowards.
It's also not a platform.
I'm saying you're welcome to talk, but you guys are going to be having a conversation.
No,
this is the moderator on the screen. You see the moderator on the screen? It's the audience. I am not going to
be overtalked. I'm going to be allowed to make
then you can leave or something and we'll talk to somebody else. Right?
I certainly will.
If you want to have the conversation with them, then just talk to them.
Thank you.
But I was letting you know, don't complain about moderation because this is how we're moderating this conversation, right?
Thank you for ensuring there's no moderation that's fair here. That's going to allow me to speak. This is why
nobody's paid to mute you. You're allowed to speak. They're being very fair with you.
Oh, you're just allowing the over talking. Okay, so let me make my first point. If I can make my first point, maybe you've got a deal here.
It'd be great if you finally did.
What's that?
Just make your point.
When you made your first point.
Free to play. Let him make his point.
Do not overtalk me. Okay, here we go. When you look at you dig up a fossil, the Archaeopteryx, for instance, you take a look at it, and you note differences or similarities in the morphology of the Archaeopteryx with the theropod dinosaurs, for instance, and similarities with birds. You develop a hypothesis, therefore, and you place it on a chart that's hypothesizing that it is descended from the theropod dinosaur, and it allowed modern birds to be developed from there. And you call it a fact. You call it the truth with no further testing whatsoever. Now, there's only one way. If I can finish my point, sir. If I can finish my point.
No, how about you don't get
okay. The point is, guys, there's no further testing. They've not put it to the test.
There was testing.
The only way to falsify that, there is one test that can falsify that claim, and that's a DNA test. That's the only test available with the possibility of falsifying that claim is the DNA test.
All life forms
the only problem is you don't have the DNA of the theropod dinosaur or the Archaeopteryx, so it remains an unfalsified hypothesis, which renders it no better than science fiction.
Lionheart, I have a question.
Okay. Now, I also have many other such arguments.
Okay.
Like,
no, wait.
Let's start with one. Let's start with this one.
Hold on.
My question is, what does this have to do with God?
Okay, there you go, guys. See, they're not going to answer the question. They're going to try to divert the debate so that they don't have to defend their own beliefs.
How about you?
They don't have to test their own pet theories. And that's the question. I refuse to have. Now, notice, guys, look at this. They're met with my first point on evolution. This is supposed to be a debate on evolution. This is supposed to be a debate that is examining the so-called evidence that they try to place on the table for evolution. Among the evidence they try to place on the table are transitional fossils. And when I point out the fact that all they're doing is looking at these things, making a declaration, calling it fact, and leaving it untested, rendering it therefore no better than science fiction. Untested science. It's just an untested claim. How do they answer their untested claim and the charge that I'm bringing across to them? What's your proof of God? In other words, they don't want to debate their own beliefs whatsoever. They're not going to allow it. That's their answer. And then they're allowing the over-talking. They're going to allow people to mute me for $2 whenever they say so for 2 minutes. And I'm supposed to sit there and endure that and call that moderation. No, I think the one thing that this proves, my friends, is that these people are really, truly cowards. They are cowardly. They cannot back their claims. They can't back their claims of transitional fossils. They can't back their claims that we have common ancestors based on our DNA. The similarities in the DNA of the chimp, for instance, and modern man. They declare a common ancestor because of that. That's their hypothesis. And yet, to test that hypothesis, they cannot point you to even, they can't even point you to a common ancestor, let alone test its DNA because they don't have it. So it too is science fiction, no more than a pure imagination. And they put all of this pure imagination on paper, call it a phylogenetic chart, and say, zip, bang, boom, there we go. It is all figured out. And these are the facts. Evolution is a fact. That is not scientific method, my friends. That is nothing but pure imagination that they're calling science. This is not science. And these people are cowards. That's all there is to it. They're too cowardly to put it up. But I'll let this finish out. Have that debate here because you won't allow it.
There are a lot of Christians who believe in evolution. There are a lot of Christians that believe in evolution.
That is neither here nor there. You've got
the point. Why?
If you can't defend your own beliefs in a third-party arena, you're a coward.
We really don't need to defend our beliefs. If your
you've got my challenge.
Our beliefs are not relevant to your
beliefs.
You've
got my challenge.
You're not being real or what?
You've got my challenge. If you don't have the courage or heart to meet it on a third-party channel, then have a wonderful evening. You've got my challenge, guys. Have a wonderful day.
That was pathetic. Oh my God.
There you go, guys. That was it. And their live stream is still going on, by the way. But that comes directly from their live stream. There you go. So, that shows you what evolutionists have for you, my friends. They have nothing. They're not able to back their thoughts. They're not able to back their hypotheses. They're not able to defend their beliefs. They're simply not able. So there you go. I just wanted to give this to you. Christians, take heart. Don't be afraid of these guys, man. They've got nothing. There is no credible evidence for evolution, as these people prove. They're not even capable of debating the issue. They're afraid of the debate. All they're going to do is ask you to debate God, because they can't defend their own beliefs. So I'm going to end this stream now. Keep it short and sweet. You guys have a wonderful evening. Love you all. God bless. If you are an atheist and you're willing to accept this challenge, leave a note in the comment. I will be fair to you. We will set up a time for you to come and defend your beliefs. We will set up a time for you to defend evolution and the so-called evidence you have for it, if you believe that evolution is a fact. And unlike these people, I will give you the opportunity to speak. I will give you the opportunity to defend, uninterrupted. So have a wonderful day, guys. Somebody please take up this challenge. God bless.